Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we will diving deep into the one of the most important concept of Spring Boot, that is Spring Boot annotation. If you are a Java developer or just getting into a Spring Boot, mastering annotations will not only make your code cleaner but also more powerful. We'll cover the most important Spring Boot annotations, when and how to use them, and we will also look at some live coding examples. So stick around till the end of this video and sharpen your Spring Boot skills. And if you are new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. So today's agenda is, here's what we will cover in your today's video. That is what are annotation in Spring Boot, annotations for configuration, dependency injection and bean annotation, controller level annotations and custom annotations with some live coding. Okay, so let's get started. The first let's quickly define what annotations are. Annotation in Java provide metadata about your code. Spring Boot leverage annotations heavily to reduce boilerplate code and make your application easier to configure and maintain. Some examples you have probably already seen are at the rate override in Java and at the rate override in at the rate auto-add in Spring Boot. So, what is the concept behind this? Annotations are used to specify how Spring should handle various components in your application. They reduce XML configuration and make your application more declarative. So, this is how we use annotations. Now, let's start with some core Spring annotations that may help you in your application. That is, core configuration annotations are Spring Boot application, configuration, and component scan. This is our code. The project structure is like, you have packages like this: annotations, configuration package, controller package, entity package, exception. These are some packages, and the main class, that is product demo application. Here you can see this annotation: Spring Boot application. This is the core annotation used to enable auto configuration, component scanning, and extra configurations. It's actually meta annotation that combines. This is a Spring Boot application which is like combines what? Spring Boot configuration, enable auto configuration, and component scan. This three annotation is covered by this single Spring Boot application annotation. So what this configuration do? Enable auto configuration do? When we annotate a class as at the rate configuration, the Spring Boot container marks that class as a source of bin definition. Think of it as a modern replacement for Spring XML configuration files. And what is component scan? When your class is annotated with the component scan, this annotation tells Spring where to look for components, configuration, and services. We already seen in the our project that this what is the Spring Boot application, which is a combination of at the rate configuration, at the rate enable configuration, and component scan. And this is like when we are configuring a class as a when we annotate a class as a at the rate configuration, which what will it do? It will configure a class for bin definitions, like source of bins. Okay, the next is dependency injection and bin annotations. One of the core features of Spring Boot is dependency injection. Let's look at the annotation that make this happen. So get into the code. Where we will get this? If there is any configuration class, you will get the bean configuration over here, or in the service class like this. Here, go to service, you will get the AutoWire annotation. What is do? That the AutoWire annotation allows Spring to resolve and inject beans. You need not to create an object of classes over here. Spring container will create it for you. For this, you have to annotate it with the at the where at the rate AutoWire annotation and declare your class over here. Declare your class over here. So there are also different types of annotations like bean component, service, and repository. I already make you see that this is a bean configuration which is used to declare a bean to be managed by Spring container. And component, we have already discussed that component is for um, it is a it is with the Spring Boot application only, which is used to which is a generic stereotype for Spring managed components. By annotating any class with the @component scan, it is def- uh, it is like you are defining that class is managed by Spring container. Okay, so after this, controller annotations. These annotations, which are like I already told you, component scan or component. Like if you are defining any service class, then it is annotated with the @service. This is a stereotype annotation. If it is a controller, then it will be annotated with the REST controller. That is, all the REST APIs will be hit, or it is act as a Spring MVC container for you. And if it is a repository, then it will be or any data access layer, then it will be annotated with the repository, which will do the uh, what it will do. It will do persistence operations likewise. Okay, so next move towards our controller annotations, which includes controller, @REST controller, request mapping, and get HTTP mappings. So @controller, this is an annotation marks the class as a Spring MVC controller when the class, like here you can see public class user controller. This is a class if it is annotated with the only controller, not REST controller, only controller, then what it will do? It will mark this class as a MVC controller. But if you annotate it with the REST controller, then it will declare the class as a REST API controller. REST controller is a combination of @controller and response body. It makes it easier to create RESTful APIs. So for that, we are using REST controller. After that, request mapping. This is request mapping annotation. This is used to create endpoints for your APIs, which are common to your controller. Like this, this is for the user controller. So /API/user. You need not to do anything like after get mapping. You need not to follow any endpoints or string before that. So for this, request mapping used to maps the endpoint. And next are like HTTP map. HTTP, for HTTPs, there are Get mapping, post mapping, put mapping, delete mapping. These are the shorthand annotations for handling a specific HTTP method. If your method is a get, then use get mapping. If your method is for post, that is saving any data, then you need to use post mapping. If you want to retrieve any data, then get mapping. If you have to edit or update, then use patch or put. And if you want to delete a data in your database, then you will have to use delete mapping. So these are the annotations which used for handling HTTP request. Next are transactional and exceptional handling annotations. Spring Boot also has annotations to manage transaction and handle exceptions. Transactional, what it do? Here you can see public void transfer for money. Transfer money. Like if you want to do any business logic related to transferring money, you need to be very cautious because it's all about money. So for this, if you are this API is hit, and you have to transfer your money, but in case there is a obstruction on in this process, then it should not be get completed, or it will be completed. There is no midway. You have to ensure this transactional annotation will ensure that the entire transaction execute within a transaction. It should not be break, or if it break, then the operation should fail, and if it is success in midwhile, then the whole operation should get success. There is no other way. Okay. After that, exceptional handler. Exceptional handler used to handle exception in Spring MVC application. You can customize how your app handles errors using this annotation on methods inside controller classes. What it do? In your Spring application, you can create a common class for exceptions. Here I can you can see in the exception package. Yes, here it is. In the exception classes, there is a base exception over here, app exception. Here you have defined some fields like HTTP status, error code, and string. Okay, what it with, and then here app global exception handler. Over here you can see a controller advice. This is a global exception. Whatever will be over here, which will be handled by this global exception class. So, uh, like this, if you are considering this resource not found exception, which is extended by this app exception based class, and you can define your own custom exception over here. So for this exception handler class and a controller advice exceptional handler annotations are used. Okay. Next are custom annotations. Up till now we have looked up into built-in annotations. Next, let's take a tour on how you can create your own custom annotation in Spring Boot. Custom annotations are useful for reducing repetitive code and increase readability. You have probably seen annotations like override and deprecated. These are built-in annotations. You can see here in the entity class product. You can see this is all data for Lombok. If you have used Lombok dependency, then at the rate data, at the rate entity, nor constructor, all are constructor. These are all at the rate column, at the rate table. These are all on what is it? Built-in annotations. But you can also create your own custom annotation. Okay. Here, override annotation. In this case, override tells the compiler that this method is overriding a superclass method. But what if you want to add your own annotations like for logging, validation, and tracking execution time. There what's custom exception coming. So we'll see how that custom exception you have to do. I have created a one package over here naming as a annotation. Here, if you want to create a annotation, you need to just go over here, new Java class, and select annotation. It will give you a class like this. I have created annotation named as log. Uh, you have to give an you will given only this, only up to this by default, and you need to annotate it with the target and retention. Why target? Target will specify that this annotation can be only applied to this method. It defines where the annotation can be applied. And in the retention, like here, it is applied on the method only. Okay, you can apply it on fields or classes anywhere. But here we have defined it on the method. And in retention means that annotation will be available at runtime, which is necessary for using reflection to process it. Okay, so it will specify target, sorry, retention will specify how long the annotation should be retained. Example at runtime, in class file or in source only. Now we will apply the annotation. Once this annotation is defined, you can apply it to the method based on it. For this, you need to create a log x aspect class where you will define the methods like this. There is a difference between the, like here, these are the exceptions like this, resource not found exception. This is also a custom exception. You are giving all these values and fields over here, but the difference is it is used for error handling. These types of custom annotations are used for error handling. It is thrown when a specific condition like resource not found, product not found is met in your code, and you expect to handle this error either through proper logging or showing appropriate message to the users. But the custom annotations we have been seen like this, that log execution on time or log, these types of annotations is a cross-cutting concern, is used for cross-cutting concerns like logging, monitoring. When applied to methods, it triggers behavior around the method execution, such as logging, how long the method took to execute. Okay, so what we have done so far, we have created a annotation, create a class for it, and write the method like this. After that, go to your controller. We are here in the controller. I have written this method just to show you how it is working, and annotate it with the log. After running this application, you will see here the port where it was running. It will run. It is running on Tomcat started on port 8080. So go over here and put your query over here and path, and just hit hello Swati, because we have already defined here in the log aspect to print the name with this. And here in the controller, in the controller in the product controller, we have printed just hello Swati. So if we hit the API, Then we will get here hello Swati. And in the log aspect we have written this system.out.println log hello, and whatever name you are given in the API, here it will be printed. Like this, your custom annotation will work. That's We have covered a lot of ground from basic configuration annotation to custom annotation. Mastering Spring Boot annotation will greatly improve your ability to build powerful, efficient, and clean Spring Boot applications. So, yeah, that's a wrap up for today's video. We have covered a lot of ground from basic configuration annotation to custom annotations. Mastering a Spring Boot annotation will greatly improve your ability to build powerful, efficient, and clean Spring Boot application. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up and leave a comment below with your favorite annotation or something new you learned today. And don't forget to subscribe for more Java and Spring Boot content. Thanks for watching, and I'll be see you in the next one. Thank you.